question 9. How can you encourage others to live a life of creation and to see the value in the act of creation? I mean, we kind of, I may, I may have to change this at some point because it's kind of just hammering the point home of question number 8. But you can expound on, why you think it's so important.
Encouraging others to, because depending on where you're at in your path, it's going to be different for everybody. But just kind of touching on what we were saying before, I would just, be present, like really be present in your passion and in what you're doing and feel that. And I know it, hindsight is always 2020 and you're never going to fully know until like you're through that. But the more you're kind of trying to at least let yourself feel like what's happening around you, it'll kind of help with the presence of knowing when you're in the moments. Because I kind of, not to get all too spiritual, I'm not even really a super spiritual person, but in the sense of like deja vu, like I kind of experience that a lot more, and I've learned to take that as a note of being on the right path. And I think that comes with being present and just kind of living in the moment rather than being so like far down the future, or how much was in the past and things that I maybe missed before. But really just being in that pocket. And it's hard to do. Like I definitely get sidetracked, as we all do, in going through some of the motions of life and all that other noise. But even with that, like still just being present and mindful of what's going on will help anybody. So at least I feel, personally, it's worked for me.
I think you actually hit a pretty important point, and it's the creation life is a journey, and I think you mentioned always kind of looking forward, but the important thing is to be present where you're at on your journey and learn what you need to learn at that particular point.
Yeah.
There's the process, there's the time spent, hours gained, experience gained. A lot of that is early on where you're just trying to figure it out.
And you got yourself there, whether you realize it or not. Like you drew yourself, you brought yourself to that point. So obviously you got yourself there for a reason. Like
Right.
whether subconscious or conscious, like there's something you need to learn there. Um, and that kind of speaks back to some of the earlier years of me living out here and kind of having that razor focus on being some photographer and getting the next, like I just, shooting celebrities and stuff. And now, like, I'm in that celebrity world. Like, I could really, not that I don't appreciate them and not that they're not like great moments and stuff, but like, I could really care less because, like, some of it like, I'm still passionate about the work and I love what I do. Um, but you do kind of hit this moment sometimes where I see my friends that, they're chefs and people that are working construction and they're linemen and doing these things. They're really doing things that are creating and contributing to our society and how we get to go about our everyday life. And, you know, I wouldn't say it's a downside, but the one thing that, if you can have your North Star in this world of being a creative or working in a creative endeavor is like, at least try to do something that's going to contribute, or maybe, it's important to pay it forward with your eye, like whether it's documenting a certain thing, but kind of trying to at least get back to some form of that at some point. Um, is it's also very important to do, I think.
I think that's a good encouragement is to just kind of be present where you're at, see opportunities to help others, as you progress. I have, a couple of photographers under me now. And, now I'm in that more of the mentor role
Hmm.
where I wasn't before. So now I'm trying to figure out how to be a mentor,
Yeah.
to them. Find myself kind of thinking more about how I was mentored, like what helped me the most. And I like what you said about just being present where you're at,
Yeah.
because that's you're here. Every step you take is something you've made because you gained something in the previous step, usually. So how can I relay that to people under me? Like, all right, you're in this spot right now. This is what you need to learn so that you can then get to the next step. So you can learn that, and then
Yeah.
just kind of keep going. And then when we have new people, show them how to do that.
Yeah. And like it's gonna again, it's like kind of that gatekeeping thing, not that it's intentional or, if you think anymore, like it's a thievery corporation that we're living in with this world. Like, not really, you're not really going to reinvent the wheel too much. Like, you can, do things and create different looks from time to time, but then somebody else is going to be right behind you trying to like do that and put their spin on it too. So, nothing in this industry is sacred. Everybody's going to get to it at some point. So, the more you pass it on and pay it forward, the more that's going to help you and you're going to come up. You bring the other people up around you, you're going to go up with them too. So it doesn't do any good to, try to be the king of the mountain.
Even if someone surpasses you, they're going to remember you helping them.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully.
Isn't that great? Isn't there
Yeah.
something about knowing like if this person excels past you, like, dude, like yeah, absolutely. Like you kind of saw it coming. I love watching all my friends progress in their endeavors and kind of see how far, like, that's the beauty of this journey that we're going through right now, and all of us.
We all ultimately take different paths too. So it's kind of like, yeah, they may be a competitor for a moment, but those moments are usually pretty short,
Yeah,
and then it's like, so if you stop look at them as a competitor and just go, they're just a fellow, creator on their journey. Our paths crossed and then, butted for a second and now we go this way and then, eventually we could come up and go parallel to each other and like support each other.
yeah, absolutely.